Yes.
They have never once, in fact, the opposite. They protected what
Right.
we were doing, and the children and so were very,
So
very.
those children, Monsignor, came from, was it from Professor Golden's establishment initially? Was
No.
there an issue there?
Okay,
in
what
terms
happened?
of-
Right. The basic school children came from the basic school.
Okay, right.
And then the other children, the one, Professor Golding, who became a member of my board later on, he's the one who said, look, Father, I wasn't a priest. He said, look, we have, people used to leave their disabled children in the corridors of the UC hospital or just in the waiting area. In other words, there were kids scattered all over the place, disabled, nobody claiming them. So it's Prof. Golding who said, you have the school building there. Can we use that? Can you do something about it? And that's when we had school in the day and dormitory at night for the children. And then when the children were getting more and more, we had to expand the area to put the school in another building and have the present building you see there as the dormitory.
And you said the building still stands there?
Yes, it's still standing there. There were two other buildings. One was the other school and one was something else. And the Hurricane Gilbert, water coming in my room. Right. Gilbert damaged everything. And then a fire. So the remaining building, and God bless his soul, his body too, Joe Matalon, young Joe, I borrowed $600 worth of material from him to build the place. He had an Englishman there, and the fellow helped me prefab it so that in case the government wanted to move us, we could unscrew the thing from the foundation and move up where they used to be in Goldsmith Villa, way up on the other side.
Right.
So, but that never happened. Instead, a fire came, and we had to leave the place, and that's how we came down this area.
So this area, though, how did you actually get this property, this prime property in the inner city?
Right. So doing Mustard Seed, I was in Boston doing graduate work, and I came back in '82. Mustard Seed over there was going on, but there was the piece of land here, and I had some Boston College volunteers just volunteering on White Wing, and the people in White Wing, I used to have a little service every Sunday night in White Wing. Yes, the people, there was a basic school there before and we used to gather there. Then the people said, but why you don't build? They didn't know who owned the land. So we started squatting here. We started squatting, and we grew vegetables, pumpkin, so on, and we were selling to the supermarket. And that was in '82. We squatted here. Nobody.
What kind of vegetables you were?
Pumpkin
and sell to the supermarket?
Yes, and
what?
to the people here. It was a very good land. And then now, when the fire came, I said, oh my God, where am I going to go? So we thought of this area, but we were squatting. It would be another squatter.
Another squatter.
Yeah. But then I got the land value department to find out who the people are and so on.
Who it belonged to.
Right. And there was a visitor visiting with his family in the North Coast who saw the news on the TV and the papers that this children's home burnt down. Would you believe he called? He couldn't get me. He didn't know me. He called the Archbishop's office, said, who is this person who was doing this and that? So they put me on to him, and he happened to be the head of United Way in America.
Wow.
You see how the Lord was? Then he said, so I was a priest then in 1886. He said, so what you're going to do? I said, look, I don't know, but I have a squatter's piece of land. He said, squatting, you can't do that. I said, no. I said, well, I don't have the money. He said, how much would it cost to buy the land?
This is where we are right now.
Right. This is in 1987, after the fire. I said, no, I don't know. I could check out the land value. Found out that the couple from here was living in Canada. And we contacted them. We said, look, we need to buy the land. Would you sell it? Oh, yeah, sell it. How much you want for it? So they said, well, it's worth more. It wasn't worth more. But they said, give me 40,000 US dollars in those days. That was like that was like 100,000 or more.
Right, in those days, yeah man.
So I said, look, I can't manage it. I can't. They say, well, so they drop it to 38,000. So I called the man. I said, look, I don't have a penny. So he said, you know what? My little child, his daughter, saying we have to help these children. You see how children come in handy? And I don't want to let her down. So I said, well, the the cost, they want 38,000 plus. I'm not even talking yet about rebuilding,
That's just for the land
That's
only.
on the land. He said, before I leave tomorrow, I'm going to have a bearer bring up a check for you in your hand, made out to you. I said, well, no, make it out to Mustard Seed Communities. And he did. The next day, lo and behold, I had that check.
For 38,000.
38,000. And I was able to call the people. I sent those days you had fax machine, a copy of the thing to the woman in Toronto. She said, okay, I will believe you now. She had somebody watching me down there. They're not fool, trust me. And she said, okay, I'll believe you now. And then we worked out the papers and so on.
Right.
And that's how we moved here.
That is such an amazing story. But that was just the land, Monsignor. That's the land alone. So what happened next? I mean, in terms of the infrastructure and all of that now.
Right. Well, let me tell you, I was going up to the U.S. or something, and I started begging for people, not just the infrastructure, but people to help me build, because I couldn't pay builders.
Right.
Well, first of all, my brother, he was in Trinidad, he was a builder. So he said, look, I'm busy, but I'll come and give you a few weeks. He came up with one of his workers. They helped me. Then some beautiful Jamaicans came up, so even from around here.
Because a lot of people don't know that you're originally from Trinidad. They think you're Jamaican.
That's right. Well, I'm Jamaican like now.
That's right. Yeah, you're Jamaican.
I don't know how Trinidad looks. But anyway, the thing is, the people from around helped me with the bush cutting and so on. And then the Lady Bustamante, this is the most amazing.
I see the plaque.
Yeah, you see? But she called, because you see, when I was teaching at UWI in 78 and doing at Mona and so on, the university gave us Bamboo Lodge to live next to Lady B.
Wow.
In Bamboo Lodge. And so we got to know each other. Sometimes when I don't have food to eat, I will shout from Bamboo Lodge, Lady B, please, no breakfast.
Hungry.
Exactly. Dinner, the same thing. One point she said, you know what? Just call me, blow the horn, and I will come and cook it for you.
Really?
And she would come and bring, she had a big garden, and she would bring all kinds. So she knew me well, and we used to chat and so on. And when I go home in the evening and I want a good cup of tea, I'll stop in and have a cup of tea. Then I wrote her, she said, if you write me something, Father. Mr. Michael Manley, Michael Manley, Lady B, Butch Hendrickson, Butch Stewart. I still have the booklet. We put it together, all of them signed their support. And I gave them the job of they pass it around to their friends.
All the persons with the money.
Yeah, and Lady B have friends, but she also have friends with a whole heap of money. And contacts. So when somebody didn't give money, say she will contact their electrician to come and put in the electricity for us, which costs money.
Of course.
You see? So that is how Lady Bustamante was something else. And Michael Manley, oh Lord, he knew Lady B was helping, yet still he was helping.
Yeah.
And Butch Hendrickson, oh my Lord, who run Continental Bakery.
Yes, oh yes.
Top class man. He still helps us to this day. But that is how we the first place, all these buildings you see were only one story, I remember Roots FM was downstairs in the reception area. Exactly. And all of them was one story.
One story.
And one little, the first set was where the children were.
Right.
And we had our office and so there.
In the same space.
Yes. And bit by bit by bit by bit, we needed,
amazing.
You see how the Lord works? And that is Roots FM started, you say, down with Tony Young. Tony Young.
He's the one that employed me.
Is that so? There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. And that's about 95 or so. Yes. But this is what you guys have done, ISIS. You guys are the one. So that's why I say I don't know how it feels, but seeing people like yourself, Roots was no big money maker or no big thing, but look what you have done, you and your friends, with this place.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of thing I look at and say, my God, it's not me, it is us.
Is that the reason why the mission statement is caring, sharing, and training?
Now you're talking, yes. With dignity and love, yes. Caring, sharing, and training. The sharing part is with the community, and we thought those days Roots would be a good way because very highly politicized in those days. We thought if we give somebody, people, anyone from anywhere in Kingston want to talk, Roots should be here. We're not political.
Right.
And how we got the name Roots, I went to different little groups around town. And I said, I'm running a competition. If we start a radio station, what you going to name it? And I forget which one of the communities come up with Roots FM. And then I say, you know what Roots mean? Rising out of the soul.
Powerful.
You see? Yeah.
And then originally it could have been a newspaper. I'm happy it wasn't.
No, you're right. When, I must tell you, Oliver Clark, rest his soul, when he heard, and he was one of the big men in Jamaica, when he heard that we are going to start a weekly paper, the next day it came out on the papers, Oliver Clark was here. Yes! To me, little me.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, Mr. Clark, and so on and so on. We became real friends later. He said, but you shouldn't start evening paper. I said, why? You don't want me to compete with the Star? He said, no, you can't compete with the Star. So I'll compete with the Gleaner then. And then he said, you know what? We probably need another community radio station because Roots at that time, there was one somewhere, but Roots was the big.
We're the biggest, up to now in the diaspora.
Exactly. So that then he keep encouraging me, and then he got John Maxwell. Now we talking some talk, and John came, he joined our advisory board. Tony Young, you know. So because
vibrant board.
Because of these people, this is how we started with Roots.
And Mr. Colin Chumley.
Oh, oh my God, for years. Then Trevor Gordon
Somers, these outstanding persons.
Oh, Lord, and they did it like it was nothing. This was their life.
Yes.
You know, Kevin's, Colin Chumley's wife, she got the United Nations to give us the equipment.
Assist us and we got the equipment.
There we go. You know, so that is the way. Then an Irish guy help us to put up the internet cafe, which moved downstairs. You know, it was in Jack's office, and then we moved it across. So everybody had some say in this.
You know, this I'm just getting goosebumps all over when I think of the journey. You know, and then of course the name mustard seed, from that smallest seed you can possibly conceive of. And what you always say, no matter what the situation, it's all about the children. And they're like your children. I'm thinking about Gracie. Your little sweetheart.
She's showing off a lot now.
She's showing off. Because she knows she's well loved and well liked. Tomorrow you're doing mass. I want to be.
Experience is 100 times more good things.
Beautiful.
Than the bad things that come out.
I'm
not stupid. I know bad things come out. But people don't see the ordinary Jamaican, the amount of generosity, heart. Oh my God, look, I'm living here in the middle of the oldest
You're not gone up Beverly Hills and Stony Hill yet.
And I don't even get a stone thrown on the roof. If they're fighting, they fight among themselves.
This is an oasis.
This is, of course.
But you know what I want to thank you for that I thought was very extremely exemplary? Throughout the whole pandemic. Right? You didn't have volunteers coming here that could make donations and contributions. They couldn't come.
Right, exactly.
But what I must commend the organization for is Thankful Thursdays, where the senior citizens came every single Thursday and got care bags throughout the pandemic. Also the employees. You know, so I'm saying, imagine, you know, you were able to take care of the children, but still found it necessary to take care of the senior citizens.
Because the senior citizens in these areas is like the children, you know.
True.
In many cases, they're disabled, not physically, but they can't help themselves. That's why we, even during the pandemic, parceled out thousands of bags of food to give to the people and the other community, because people can't eat for one day and survive. You have to help them all the time,
continuously.
You know, so that is what. And I really don't see myself there. I really see the people who are here doing this work for the last 45 years. Donna Reynolds have been here with me 30 years.
You're kidding me.
Jack, our little Jack downstairs.
Yes.
Probably 35 years of the 45 or more, 38.
Powerful.
You see that
commitment.
And Jack left his big job around the world. And he came. He buys his house. I don't know when last I went there, but he helped me design all the buildings in different countries too.
Yes.
Without a penny.
Because people have to remember also, we have about 9 apostolates here, but then you're in Zimbabwe, you're in Damarep, yes,
Nicaragua,
right?
Malawi,
USA,
yes.
So one day I want a trip, Father. I want to
we'll
go to Africa.
One of these is
I want to go.
We'll take you to Africa so you could smoke some real weed.
On that note,
Get you there.
on that note, this is where we say thank you to the past.
Yeah, there we
It's
go.
an honor from the RAS.
Thank you.
For your wonderful
Thank you.
work.
No.
It's been amazing. It's been great.
Yes,
And
thank you.
I'm just so honored and privileged to be a
Thank you.
part of the mustard seed communities. It's a privilege. It's an honor.
And-
And we thank you so
and
much.
Sister Isis, I can't say enough about, and I told somebody the other day, look at Isis standing strong, and look at the people with you now. Look at the young man there, he's been there from way back too.
Right.
And anyone who is here,
Yeah.
even the one who have left,
Yes.
they did it of
They-
their own. And
absolutely.
But God bless all of them. And God bless your listeners. Please
Oh,
keep listening
thank
to
you.
Roots, everyone.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
everyone.
Father. Thank you.
you.
Bless you.
Thank
Thank you so much. Wow, that was a powerful, reasoning conversation with Monsignor Gregory Ramkasoon. I try to get him here more often, but he shies away. He's convinced it's not a religious radio station. He always said it's not a religious radio station, not a political radio station. It's a inner city station for the people. And he has always said that. So we have all kinds of people who come here and, work here. And, they don't have to be Roman Catholics. They don't have, but, he's so embracing of everybody. What a perfect example to be of a human being. Embraces everyone. And I'm really honored to have conducted this interview today for City Beat. We went beyond time. We went over 15 minutes. And he was quite comfortable here. So thank you so much for listening. And we're going to take a pause. This is an appropriate segue into